Poppy K and her bookish thoughts, adventures with ogres and astronauts. Poppy K and her bookish thoughts. Poppy K, subscribe, like, comment and share.
I am on chapter 10, which is 114 pages in. I'm going to say this right now. When I first picked this book up, I have got a video of it. I will link it below. But when I did pick this book up for the first time, I was a bit like everybody else. And I was like, what? Who? When? How? On the reread, though, I mean, I don't know whether you'll be able to tell, but I've got several different tabs in there. So I've got the red and white, which is what I'm doing now, and the black and white, which is what I did on the first ones. Now, I seem to have been tabbing a lot more, and there's a lot more things that I'm noticing on the reread. And I really do think I'm going to benefit from the reread more, even though I kind of know what's going to happen because I've literally only read it at the beginning of the year. I want to say the first half, first quarter of the year anyway. Yeah, I'm definitely more invested, and I've just been doing like loads of highlighting and things like that in here and taking proper notes as to what things are, who people are and things like that. So, you know, like just taking like little notes and stuff. So I think this is going to be beneficial because I'm definitely enjoying it actually more on the reread than on my first read, I think. So there's that. Now, knowing what I know, it's really hard to say, knowing what I know about this and the next book, I can see where things are coming together, even from the beginning of this. So, even though we're set in a completely different world, we are, I mean, there's Crescent City, that's the map. We are in a completely different world. We are in a completely different time as well. However, Sarah J. Maas she just knows what to do. She's my girl, you know. She just definitely knows what to do. So, as I say, on chapter 10, I've still got a lot more chapters to go. So hopefully I can get this finished by the time this vlog goes up. I'm a little bit busy this week, as I keep saying, but you'll find out why I'm busy either this week or you'll have seen what I've been doing in it, but it might not be in that vlog, it might be in another vlog. So just bear with. Right, I'm going to get myself off to bed. Not that I want to, because I could probably stay up all night and read this, to be honest. But I'm enjoying it a lot more on my reread than the first time I read it. So yeah, if you've got it and you're not sure about rereading it, I'm rereading both because I want to reread both. But I would definitely, if you don't want to read this one, definitely read the second one again, because I'm finding out loads of new things as well. So anyway, right, enough repeating from me. Hello, I got my Lumicrate box today. I didn't put a video up last week because obviously I was doing that thing for the Santa doorstep challenge charity thing all week, so I just haven't had a chance to read at all. But this week I'm getting on. So today is Saturday, this video will come out on Thursday. I'm still in the same place as I was reading my Sarah J Maas book, The House of Blood and Earth, but I've got this one and then there's the second one and then the third one comes out at the end of January. I'm not worrying. I am not worrying because I know that I'll be able to get it all finished. So that's just that. But I got my Lumicrate box today and my husband likes to watch me open it, so because he likes to see what I get inside of it anyway. But anyway, this is what I got. I've actually got one of the things down here. I've got a really bad back. Oh, I've really hurt my back doing this Santa thing. So, first I got a tea towel. It does tell you in the spoiler card, wherever that is, what it is, but there's the tea towel. It says Stargate Donut. That is going to go in the tent. We're going to keep that for the tent. So that's going to be one of our tea towels for when we go camping. So I'll put that in the shed with the camping stuff. And talking of holidays, I also got in this little box here, it's like it says books are a way to live 1,000 lives. And that is the little, it's glass, and I'm going to start putting fivers in there ready to save up for my holidays. So that is pretty good. I'm going to put that up on my window shelf. Window shelf? Window ledge. Yeah, window ledge. I also got a calendar, Lumicrate calendar with loads of artwork in. Some really cool sort of AI style artwork. Which, oh, I love that. And that goes with the tea towel. But yeah, some really cool artwork in that. And then also there was, now this I do need, is a week planner. So this is going to be perfect for me. Just, I think, is it sticky back? Let's have a look and see if it is sticky back. If it is, oh no, it's just, but that's perfect because I can keep that on my desk along with my planner and then just brainstorm stuff and things like that, because 2024 is the year. I'm going to concentrate a lot on my Etsy shop. I'm going to concentrate on doing content, all of that sort of stuff, you know. So we all start out with good intentions. Let's see what happens this time next year. I will keep you posted. What I will do is keep this video and then we'll see what happens. And then the book that I got is The Principle of Moments. Is that what it is? Yeah, The Principle of Moments by Esme Jacami Pearson. So there's the front cover. Sprayed edges. So we've got a nice sprayed edge. Dust jacket. That's one of the inside papers. That's the front all foiled. This reminds me of Whitley Court, where I go to quite a bit. There's that. Nothing on that side. And it is, of course, signed by the author as well. So, yeah, great little box. So, I've unwrapped that. Here I've got another box. So, I know what it is, and I'm going to unwrap them and then wrap them up again in wrapping paper because they're a gift to myself. I think, just going to wrap this up because I actually can't remember what books I've ordered. That's great, isn't it? And I'm just going to unwrap this on Christmas Day. How about them apples? I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to leave it like that and I am going to unwrap it on Christmas Day. Why not? Right, I'm going to go now and I'm going to put my feet up. I've taken some painkillers for my back. I've got a coffee. I'm going to read a little bit more of this. I'm actually really enjoying it a lot. I wouldn't say I'm enjoying it a lot more. Because I'm taking my time to read it. I think I rushed it last time because I actually had the audiobook from the library and I was rushing it. So, and you can tell by the different tabs in there, I've got a few little tabs in there, like the black and white ones, but the red ones. So I am thoroughly enjoying it, and I'm thoroughly enjoying annotating it as well. So that is the mission for the next few days, is to get that read. Right, I will see you in a bit. Right, little update. I am getting to that last little bit, so that's what I've got left. You might see mascara. I have just literally had a little bit of a cry because I've just got to the shower scene. Now, I don't know why, but I'm really enjoying this more the second time round, and I'm seeing a lot more things happen. Whether or not I think last time I was rushing because, as I say, I had the audiobook from the library. But there are numerous things in this book. Obviously, Bryce is a party girl, or was a party girl, and she had all her friends, the wolf pack, Danica, and things like that. And then obviously they go. That's not a spoiler because it is on the back. Or her best friend goes. And she is trying to solve this murder because the governor of the town has asked her to. And Hunt is there to protect her, basically, to keep her on guard, you know. But these two characters are so similar. She, after the fact that incident happened, she was known as like a party girl. She used to go out dancing, drinking, and didn't really have a care in the world. Now she doesn't dance anymore, she doesn't drink anymore. All of those things remind her of her friends and Danica and stuff like that, and so she punishes herself. Now obviously she was attacked by the Crystali, I think that's how it's pronounced, in the alleyway, and it took a chunk out of her leg. Now because she hasn't made the drop yet, which is the thing that the Fae do, or all of these beings do, to sort of get their eternal life, if they don't make the drop, basically they just have a mortal life. So she hasn't made the drop yet, so because of that, her injuries and things don't heal either quickly or disappear. So she got bit, and Hunt basically taped her up, stapled her together, but she's never gone to a healer or anything like that to get it sorted properly, so she's always got a pain in her leg. She's never gone to therapy because she knows that therapy is going to help her, and she basically is punishing herself for her friends' deaths. And Hunt is a slave to the governor, and the governor sends him out to assassinate people because Hunt was part of a, what do they call it? Oh, where they go against them, you know what I mean. Anyway, so he was part of that, and obviously got caught, and then this is his punishment. He has to kill a certain amount of people to gain his freedom. And after each murder, or after each killing spree or whatever, he goes and he basically takes a really hot shower and scolds himself as he's healing at the same time. So to me, these two are very similar, because she is trying to punish herself by not getting any medical attention, not having any therapy or anything like that. So she's basically torturing herself because of what happened, and he is torturing himself because he's killing people. And we've just had the scene in the shower where he's just come back. She's basically gone in the shower. It's not really I would say it's not very sexual, albeit that they're in the shower together. It's quite a touching moment, because she's, you know, she's cleaning him and all that sort of thing, and then she takes him off to bed and puts him in the bed, and he basically just wants somebody there to keep him company. But they're like two lost souls, and they've found each other. And I hope that, I know for a fact that do they stay together? I think they do in the other book. Yeah, I can't quite remember, to be honest. So that's why I wanted to reread the two before the next book comes out at the end of January. So I do hope that they stay together. I don't want it to be like a Tamlin thing. I really don't. So at the moment, yeah, we stan Hunt and Bryce. So yeah, that's what I want to say. I'm scared now to read the last 200 pages. Because this is where all the meat. This has been really good, because it, obviously being a new world and things like that, not the same as ACOTAR or Throne of Glass. Obviously they're like quite fantastical places. This is an urban fantasy, so you had to set it up a little bit different, and I think she's done a really good job of that. Although even on the second reading, I've had to write down who different angels are in the different houses and things like that. So yeah, so that's that. So I'm on chapter 55, which is page 505, and I think, how many pages is there? Well, it's okay, I've got just over 200, nearly 300 pages to go, and I know that something is coming up, and I don't want to read it because it's going to make me sad. I'm making me cry now. Damn, I'm going to have to though, aren't I? So, right, anyway, that's this update done. Okay, so I have finished, and I have just got to say I thoroughly enjoyed the reread. As you can see, I tabbed the hell H-E-L, out of this, and thoroughly enjoyed it. I finished the last of it on my Twitch stream, which is the video that I uploaded yesterday. So if I remember, I'll link that video. It's literally just a Twitch stream, but I was crying. It was all, you know, just whatever, but it was whatever. So I have finished this. Now, I would say because it's an urban fantasy, Sarah J Maas has had to, because this is why this is so thick, I think, Sarah J Maas has had to sort of do a lot more world building because people are used to her using a fairy tale sort of medieval type setting, and this is, as I say, urban fantasy. So I think people were a little bit like, ooh, a bit jarred at first, but once you get into it, honestly, there's a lot to take in. But if you just take, I mean, I was taking notes as to who people were and things like that, and what this meant and what that meant. I think I'd still have to read it again and again just to find out. Basically, Bryce, our main character, she has been tasked to investigate murders that have happened in the city, and she is paired up with Hunt, who is an Umbra Mortis, and the governor of the city has basically paired them together because he wants to know why the murders are happening. Now, the reason she has been dragged in is because, and this is no spoiler because it does say on the back, that her best friend, Bryce, was murdered 2 years previous, and basically it's the same sort of murders that are happening, and he wants Bryce, because she's had experience of this, to help investigate these murders. Now, I would say that the foreshadowing in this book is, until you read it again, I think you've got to read it a couple of times to kind of for it to shout out at you. And because I was concentrating on it quite a bit, then yeah, for sure. And I'm just going to read this to you. So if you haven't read it, you probably don't want to be listening to this because, you know. Danica met her gaze from across the room, her eyes still wary but faintly amused. She winked. Light it up, bitch. Light it up, asshole, Bryce replied, the farewell sliding off her tongue with the ease of years of usage. But it was Danica's added, I love you, as Bryce slipped out the grimy hallway that made her hesitate with her hand on the knob. It had taken Danica a few years to say these words, and she still used them sparingly. Danica had initially hated it when Bryce said them to her, even when Bryce explained that she'd spent most of her life saying it, just in case it was, in italics, just in case it was the last time. So that, to me, the foreshadowing in that, because obviously what happens at the end of the book, she's comes back and she says, light it up, Bryce. And then I would say that Bryce has a confidence and a confidence about herself and her sexuality, and in the first part of the book, which I think is very different to Aileen and Feyre. Feyre was not really that confident. Aileen, by the way, was, I think, is the same sort of confidence, but she was confident more for her, how she knew she could kill people because she was an assassin, wasn't she? Whereas I think Bryce's confidence comes from her sassy sexiness. So I think that's like the kind of difference between all three of our main female characters. Bryce is definitely different. She's different in part 1 and part 2. There are certain parts to this book. In part 1, as I say, she was quite confident and out there. In part 2, she seems to be quite numb, going through the motions of life. She seems to be self-sabotaging herself as well. So hasn't had her leg sorted out, that when Danica got murdered and the pack got murdered, the Kristalos had taken a chunk out of her leg, and she had never opted to get that healed properly. So every day she feels that pain, it's a reminder that, you know, it was probably her fault that her best friend got killed. So this was her self-sabotage. This was her punishment to herself for that. She stopped dancing. She stopped drinking. She didn't do the things that she used to do with Danica and things like that. And I think she's just literally going through the motions of life in this book. I think there's a part in the book where she says, yeah, I could go to therapy, but I know it would work and I know it would help me. And she didn't want the help. She wanted to basically punish herself. So there's that. And I think, I think I've tabbed that as well. This here, she says, we were supposed to make the drop together. We picked 2 years from now. He knew who she meant, the reason why she no longer drank or danced or really seemed to live her life. So, you know, she sort of seems to self-sabotage herself. I think that Bryce and Hunt, because they are both, she's a slave to this and he is a slave to the governor and all of the people that he killed, the internal hurt that he feels with killing all of the people that he has to kill. I think that's why they are so similar. And I really do hope that he is endgame, because he is chef's kiss. This was probably my most favourite part of the book. And it's near the end. And it's when Lahaba is freed, and it says, despite the monster trying to break loose behind them, Bryce choked on a laugh before she begged, "You're a free person. You don't have to do this. You're free, Lahaba." Yet Lahaba remained at the front of the stairs. Then let the world know that my first act of freedom was to help my friends. Oh my goodness. That is just beautiful. So, of course, it's a 5-star read. If I could give it more, I would give it more. So my next book that I'm going to read is Powerless by Lauren Roberts. That's the next book that I'm going to read. But then after that, I will go and I will read Crescent, the House of Air and Breath. Air and Breath? Shadow and Breath. Air and Breath. Anyway, the next book it's in the front here. I'll have that. House of Sky and Breath. So I will be reading that because obviously the next book comes out at the end of the month and I want to be ready for that. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. I thoroughly did. I know it took me a little while to get going, but you know, Christmas and all that kind of thing. But we are back and we are ready to go. So I will see you on the next one. If you've read this, let me know, and let me know what you think about the theories. Obviously, I know what happens in the next book, but you know, it's just, there's a lot of little Easter eggs in here as well with some of the books in the library. I mean, there's so much that we could discuss. So I might do a little discussion thing one day. I don't know, probably on my Twitch or something. So if you want to go over there and see that, that would be amazing. But that's it. I am finished. I am signing off. I will see you in the next one. Have a great day. Bye.